Hello, Tanisha. All right, look like we're all coming on. Hello, everyone. We'll give it another minute or so for others to find us, and we will get started with tonight's lesson. About another minute. Glad to see you all joining us. All right. Okay, just a few more seconds or so, and we're going to get started with tonight's lesson. If you have friends you want to invite, give them an invitation out there as we get going tonight with the study. All right, well, welcome to tonight's Bible study. It's a fundamental read through the Bible. It's a commentary that I make of my own, and it's my own commentary, so there are no copyright issues with it. We teach this from the Christian perspective based on the Bible. So if that's not what you're looking for, then feel free to just pass this video right on by. We won't be offended by it at all. But if you look for a Christian-based Bible study, you're in the right place. Now, tonight we're going to look at 1 Kings 17, excuse me, 1 Kings 17th chapter. We're going to read verse 17 through 24 for tonight's study. 1 Kings, all right, again, that's 1 Kings 17th chapter, verse 17 through 21. And tonight I'm going to be reading from the NIV version. Again, 1 Kings 17, verse 17 through 24. And tonight's subject will be Undaunted Fervor. Undaunted Fervor. That's Undaunted Fervor. All right? So that's what we're going to look at tonight. All right? So now, when we talk about Undaunted, we're talking about fervor that's where you're not easily discouraged. All right? And you're not, basically, you don't feel forced to abandon your position of faith. And you hold on to that position with effort. You put effort in the fact that you're going to hold on to that position. And in other words, your faith is not diminishing, even in the face of situation that says it should fall away. There are going to be times in your life when you've acted by faith, and you've acted by strong faith, and you've seen results. And then all of a sudden, it's going to feel like you got whiplash because something's going to come up that challenges your faith again. And when that happens, you're going to wonder whether or not you have enough faith to do it again. So undaunted fervor is that faith that says, let's do it again. You get it? So that's what I'm talking about. Undaunted fervor. If I say anything else, that's what it is. It should be undaunted fervor is that kind of faith that says, let's do it again. You get it? All right. So tonight, I want you to go through the night, and I want you to hear yourself saying, let's do it again. God's blessed me one time, and I'm challenged now, but let's do it again. All right. So that's undaunted fervor. So let's take a look at the situation here in 1 Kings 17, 17th chapter, verse 17 through 24. I'll read it, and I'll make some commentary on it as we go. Here we go. I'm looking over to my other screen now. Here we go. Sometime later, the son of the woman who owned the house became ill. He grew worse and worse and finally stopped breathing. That means he's dead. Okay, woman owned the house. Okay, and basically it's a boarding house because right now the prophet Elijah is staying there. So she's essentially like a boarding house. So she owns a house. So the woman at the boarding house, son became sick and he stopped breathing. He died. She said to Elijah, "What do you have against me, man of God? Did you come to remind me of my sin and kill my son? In other words, here's Elijah, the strong prophet of God, who she's seen miracles at his hand. All of a sudden, her son, who she thought was special to Elijah as well, he died. You get it? All right. Here's something you need to understand when it comes to undaunted fervor, and something you need to understand. It doesn't matter whether you're around someone with strong faith, no faith, or can't even spell faith. Sometimes some things will happen to you too. You get it? And sometimes something will happen to those you love too. All right? So here's this woman. She's having a hard time coming to grips with this. How can I be around such a person of strong faith and something happened to my son? All right, you get it? Bad things can happen in the face of great servants of God, great men and women of God, and being in good faith-filled churches or good faith-filled environment. Sometimes life just comes to see us all. Okay? Now, so watch what happens next. Elijah said, now here's Elijah. Now, this son is dead. And Elijah is about to put his faith on the line. I want to ask you tonight whether or not there's something in your life that looks dead. Something looks like it's not going to turn around. Something looks like it can't change. Look like this is the end, the coup de grace, the curtains closing. They're running the credits. Look like it's all over. The question tonight for you is, are you willing to put your faith on the line? That's the question. Are you willing to put your faith on the line? Because that's what Elijah is about to do. So let's watch him do it. Elijah said, give me your son, Elijah replied. He took him from her arms, carried him up to the upper room where he was staying, and laid him on his bed. Now watch this. Elijah took him from downstairs and took him upstairs. And people have a lot of theology about why he did that. And I'd like to tell you that I have the perfect answer for you. I'm not sure I do. But look at this. Elijah's putting his faith on the line, right? And he's taking the boy upstairs. Why couldn't he have worked it where he was? I have no idea. But what we do know is that for some reason inside of Elijah, he felt a need to separate himself from others at this particular time. Sometimes when you're working with undaunted fervor, you can't explain all of your next moves. Let me say that again. Sometimes when you're working with undaunted fervor, you can't explain all of your next move. But there'll be something inside of you that will push you to make a move that sometimes others won't get and sometimes you can't explain. You have to be comfortable with that position. If you're going to walk with undaunted fervor, and that is fervor as in spirit-filled fervor, not just a passion or excitement, but that fervor is that what I call that stick-to-itness. Okay? That's the kind of fervor we're talking about, that stick-to-itness. All right? That not giving in to your fear, not giving in to the concern, not being a pushover. That's the fervor I'm talking about. Not just excitement, but I have this stick-to-itness inside of me. So here it is. When you're doing that, sometimes you'll find yourself moving in a direction that you can't explain perfectly to others, but it makes sense to you. And if it makes sense to you to make the move, I want to encourage you tonight, make the move. Hashtag it, make the move. I might not get it. No one else might get it, but make the move. And that's what Elijah did. He didn't try to explain what he was doing. He took the boy upstairs. All right. Then he cried out. Now, notice when he's going this, I imagine the widow woman, she's probably hopeless and trying to figure out what's he doing. It doesn't matter. Okay. He is making a move. Verse 20. Then he cried to the Lord, Lord, my God, have you brought tragedy even on this widow I am staying with by calling the son to die? All right. Listen to me. Get ready for this. Now, he's asking, Lord, what are you doing here? Now, I have to be careful because some of you may be very conservative when you read things and you like to read it all like this. And that, oh, he is saying like this. But in my mind, he might be saying, what's up with this, Lord? I'm your prophet. You've worked miracles at my hands, and now you brought death to the son. Watch this, while I'm there. You get it? In other words, this makes him look like maybe he's not really a prophet of God. You get it? because he's a prophet of God and death is coming to the house where the prophet of God is? You are not exempt because you're a strong walker with the Lord from situations happening before you. God works God's way. End of story. I could tell you more, but you get it? Here, he's asking God what's up here. Okay? And for those of you who want to make it real conservative, like, well, Lord, I would just like to understand it. Me, I hear him saying, Lord, I don't get it. Have you ever been in a situation like that? You've been serving the Lord all this long. You don't lie. You don't cheat. You give your tithe and offering. You bless the widows. You even bless the fire department. You don't even, listen. You plant flowers all around your community. You do all the right things. You're doing all these things, helping everybody, and you're the one that's sick. You're the one that doesn't feel good. You're the one that's broke. You're the one that's depressed. You're the one. I don't get it sometimes. Here's something you need to understand. Even though you walk by faith, doesn't mean you'll always understand everything happening. Sometimes you just won't get it. Saying it to God is okay. You got it? You're talking to God. He's your father. He's not a father you have to be afraid of talking to and talking straight from the heart to. Today, many people are trying to talk to God, but they're not talking straight from the heart. Hashtag talk from the heart. Stop trying to dress it up to God and trying to look pretty when you get it to God. Talk from the heart when you talk to God. And that's what he's doing. If you're going to walk with undaunted fervor, you have to have a spirit that says, I can just talk to God. You get it? I'm just talking to God. Well, you shouldn't talk like that. That's why you don't tell anybody. That's why he went to his room by himself. That way no one can interfere with how he interacted with God. Sometimes you got to get by yourself where you can interact with God your way, not according to some ritual, not according to some program, not according to what someone wrote, the way they said do it. Here's the proper way and here's the improper way. It's just you and God. If you're going to have undaunted fervor, sometimes you just got to have the courage to say, it's just me and God. You get it? It's just me and God. I hear you. You say I should wait till Sunday morning. It's Thursday night. It's just me and God. I hear you. I should start off praying like this. Listen, it's just me and God. I'm going to cut to the chase. I need you. I don't understand what's going on, and I need you. That's where he is. And that's where people with undaunted fervor will find themselves. They'll find themselves in a situation where they're simply saying, God, I need you. So look what it said. So what did he say? Then he stretched himself on the boy. I want you to watch this. Out on the boy 3 times. How many times? Not 1, not 2, but 3. Watch this. 3 times and cried out to the Lord. All right. Lord, my God, let this boy's life return to him. He said he laid on the boy 3 times. And then it said what he cried out. Now listen to me. Follow me through. Here's how I want you to view this. Watch this. Said he laid on 3 times. This wasn't a ritual. This is when he did 3 things, 3 things, 3 things, and then he talked to God. I believe this were 3 unique situations where the first time he said something to God. Then the second time he laid hands and grabbed the boy, hugged the boy, and he talked to God again. Didn't anything happen? And the third time he did it again. He hugged him, and this time he said, Lord, my God, let this boy's life return to him. If you don't get through the first time and you don't get through the second time, keep going until you get through. That's important. This wasn't some ritual where he said 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Now let me talk to God. Here's the point. Undaunted fervor, and when you're acting in the spirit of undaunted favor, you don't have time to stand on ceremony. Let me say that again. When you act with undaunted fervor, you don't have time to stand on ceremony and make up some ritual. You got to get right down to business. And if the way you get down to business the first time doesn't get it, try the second time. That doesn't work. Oops. Number 3, until you get your breakthrough. You see, if you continue with undaunted fervor, your breakthrough has to show up. Let me say it again. If you continue with undaunted fervor, your breakthrough has to show up. So you keep going. Hashtag, I'll keep going then. I'll keep going. Hashtag, I'll keep going. And you keep going until you get your breakthrough. And that's what he did. First time, he said something to God. Second time, he talked to God again. Third time, he said it again to God, and he said, let this boy's life return to him. Right? Don't know why he didn't answer the first two. We can speculate, but we'll stop right there with that. You get it? So he did it, and then what happened? The Lord heard Elijah's cry. He heard Elijah's cry. You got to cry until God hears you. Cry until God hears you. You want God to move in your career? Cry until he hears you. You want to move on your academics? Cry until he hears you. You want to move on your marriage? Cry until he hears you. Parents, don't stop crying about your children. Cry until he hears you. You want to move on your finance? You went to your financial investor? Good. I got it. I understand it. I have one too. I get the picture. But listen, while I'm talking to him, I'm crying until I get my breakthrough. God's going to give my breakthrough. Hashtag it. God's going to give my breakthrough. God's going to give my breakthrough. All right. So then the Lord heard Elijah, and the boy's life returned to him, and he lived. Elijah picked up the child and carried him down from the room into the house. He gave him to his mother. Look, your son is alive. Here's what happened. With undaunted fervor, when the manifestation shows up, you will have the wisdom. You will need the wisdom to position it in its proper place. When it shows up, when the manifestation shows up, position it in its proper place. It was proper for the son. The son came from his mother. It's proper for the son to go back to his mother. You get it? Wisdom will dictate when the manifestation shows up, how and where to position it. Okay, so after that, verse 24, then the woman said to Elijah, now I know that you are a man of God, and that the word of the Lord from your mouth is true. The way you know God is at work and that God is true, you see the manifestation. Now listen, he is at work when you don't see the manifestation. God's always at work. You got that? But how many of you want God to specifically show up in something exactly for you? I'm talking about exact. I'm not talking about something made up. I want to feel my health. I want to feel healthier. No, I want my cancer gone. You get it? All right. I want my diabetes gone. I want my heart disease gone. I don't want health. I want specific health. I want something exact. I don't want academics. I want to do this exactly like this. I want to get an A in physical chemistry 331.5 for the winter semester. Very specific. That's what people with undaunted fervor work on. They don't work generic. Here it is. Let me say it. Slow down. People with undaunted fervor don't work with generics. They work with specifics. People with undaunted fervor. Fervor is that stick-to-itness. They don't work on generics. They work with specific. By the way, that's perhaps why some of you hadn't gotten your prayer breakthrough. You've been asking your prayer partner to pray for you, and they done prayed about everything, London Bridge and the old man under the troll under the bridge and the three little pigs and everything else. They done prayed about everything except what you specifically need. When you go to your prayer partner and you say pray for you and they start praying for everybody else, that's a good time to say amen, thank you, Jesus, and move to somebody else. You didn't go to your prayer partner to pray about what's happening here, there, and the other, and what's going on in some place else. You have a specific need. People with undaunted fervor, they're not praying generic, they're not talking generic, they're not speaking your life generic. Say, ooh, I feel like somebody in this room about to get a breakthrough. Man, if it's me, tell me it's me. You get it? Undaunted fervor will let you target, ooh, glory. It will let you target your faith to act against something that specifically impacts you. Somebody hashtag, it's my time now. Hashtag it, it's my time now. And you want to be very specific about what that is. All right? Okay, I may have gone a bit fast. So let me slow down and give you 5 principles that we learned from this particular set of scripture. We're talking tonight about undaunted fervor. That is that fervor that doesn't change under pressure. Okay, you ready? Here it comes. 5 principles we learned from this. Number 1, and I'll move through these. Number 1, all right? It's not what you say, but what you do in face of your, oh well, or your, looks like my luck run out. You get it? It's not what you say, but it's what you do in face of your, oh well, or your, my luck ran out. You know what I mean? Luck's in quotes. So all you're talking about, well, Christians don't get lucky. And that preacher talking about luck. You get it. It's in quotes. That's what we say. We say, my luck ran out. You get it? Here's a situation. Elijah had been bringing miracles and looked like his proverbial luck ran out. You get it? Sometimes God bless you. He blessed you so good last year, you're scared he's not going to bless you this year. You get it? So in the face of your looks like, you might not get your next miracle. That's what I mean by your, oh, well, that pressure to say, will God deliver again? Guess what? He will deliver. So it's not what you say then, it's what you do in the face of that. You get it? Not what you say, but it's what you do. What do you mean? Elijah said something. That's right. He acted on his faith. His action on his faith produces what he said. He didn't say to get faith. You get it? He said, let me take the boy with the expectation that when he comes back downstairs, he's going to be different. So when he took it and took action. You get it? One of his actions was prayer. Do you follow the point? You act on it. Not just what you say, but what you do. All right, number 2. One other principle is when others can go further, you still act. I just said it twice almost, didn't I? You get it? When others can go no further, you still act. That's the second principle you get. So the first is not just what you say, but what you do in the face of things aren't going to work. Okay? You do something with your faith. The second one is when others can go no further, you still act. Everybody else is giving up. You're the only one still moving. You're the only one still trying. Everybody else gave up. All your friends gave up on their marriage. You're the only one still married. Everybody else quit. Okay? Nobody else goes to church anymore, but you're still the only one down at the church. It's you, your great grandma, and the janitor. That's the only people at the church. Okay? Pastor might not even be there today. You get it? Okay? Everybody's gave up. All right, number 3. Yeah. This is important. You notice Elijah did a few interesting things. He took the boy upstairs. He talked to God. He looked like he embraced the boy at least 3 times. Then he spit out a prayer. Then he took him back down. Here's something. Number 3, how you project your fervor is not easily defined. How you project your fervor is not easily defined. In other words, what you do when you're acting by fervor, you can't hardly define it. More time than not, you act on the spot. It's not exactly a plan. Just something your spirit say, do it now. And for some of you, I speak it in your life to say, do it now. It's time for some of you to have a do it now fervor. Ooh, that might be a good one. Just say, I have a do it now fervor. I have a do it now fervor. It's time for you to act on that fervor. Okay? And you can't do it the way others do it. The fourth one is, the actions of your fervor will have a clear target. I talked about that earlier. So the actions of your fervor will have a clear target. It won't be generic. And the fifth principle, lest I be too long, is, don't spend, here's one you want to make sure you know, the fifth one. Ready? Don't spend way too much time trying to get others on board. Let them come along when they can. Don't spend too much time trying to get others on board. Let them come along when they can. Elijah did not invite the mother to go upstairs. Elijah didn't invite all the ladies from the ladies' auxiliary to come to the prayer meeting or to the gathering. He didn't invite all the people with the titles in front and behind the names. He said, listen, this is something I have to do. Don't spend way too much time trying to get others to come with you when you're acting about undaunted, make sure it's undaunted. When you're acting about undaunted fervor, you don't have time for that. You don't have time to convince everybody. We need to go upstairs. They be asking why. Well, then a minute, let me take my break. I need to get my coffee. I need my medicine. I need to call my brother. I got to send out a Facebook post. You don't have time for that. If they're not ready to go when you move, move. And more time than not, best to move by yourself. So with that, those 5 principles, let me tell you what I hear God saying. All right? Here is what God is saying. All right, you got it? We're talking about undaunted fervor. It's a bit lengthy, so hang on. Here we go. God is saying, that if you are still willing to put yourself out there against the odds that are viewed as unsurmountable, he will put himself out there with you and will deliver on your faith action. God is saying, if you're still willing to put yourself out there, put yourself on the line, expose yourself, if you're still willing to put yourself out there in against the odds that are viewed as unsurmountable, he will put himself out there with you and will deliver on your faith actions. Whatever they are, God say, you put yourself out there, I'm going to put myself out there with you. All right? You got that? Saying it real simple. God is saying, if you will, he will too. God is saying, if you will, he will too. You got that? And that's what Undaunted Fervor is about. It's about you making a move so God can back you up. He can't back you up, folks, if you're not going anywhere. You get it? If you expect God to back you up, go somewhere. And Undaunted Fervor will drive you out of your comfort zone into God's faith-filled realm. You get it? And that's what happened here. All right? So you have to be willing. Somebody hashtag I'm willing. Hashtag it, I'm willing. All right? Now don't hashtag it if you don't mean it. Hashtag I'm willing. Because if you're willing, I'm going to show you 4 ways that being willing is exhibited. All right? There's 4 ways being willing is exhibited. And these are things that fix your spirit to walk with undaunted fervor. And fervor being that stick-to-itness. Okay? That toughness to stay there when no one else is staying there. Even in the, okay? Ready? First one of willingness. First area of willingness. Ready? 4 areas of willingness. Number 1, be willing to hold yourself accountable to act. Hold yourself accountable to act. Don't let anybody else hold you. Hold yourself accountable to act. Elijah held himself accountable. He said, I have to act. The woman was too weak to act. The boy was dead. It was left up to him. Somebody around you in your life is too weak to act. The other one is acting like they're dead and don't know the Lord. It's up to you to act. It could be in your church. It could be in your home. It could be in your community. It could be in the supermarket. Wherever it is, hold yourself accountable to act. Number 2, watch this now. Ready? Step to the edge of ridiculous faith. Step to the edge of ridiculous faith. And what do I mean by ridiculous faith? It looks like there's no good reason to try this at all. This boy was dead, but Elijah said, let's do something. Step to the edge of ridiculous faith. Number 3, let the evidence do the talking. Let the evidence do the talking. You don't have to say anything. He just brought the boy back, said, he's alive. Let the evidence do the talking. And number 4, let the testimony identify the value. Let the testimony identify the value. All of these principles are willing principles by faith. Let me say it again. All 4 of these principles are willing principles by faith. So there you have it. Undaunted faith, fervor is that move of God upon your life when it looks like it's ridiculous to believe that it's possible, but you're pushed to believe it anyway. You need to feel an unction in you tonight to move anyway. So when the next situation pushes against your faith, push it against it in a way that causes you to wonder whether it's still possible for God to act, go to God and ask him to honor himself again by manifesting a miracle in your life because you refuse to quit on him. Don't lose hope. Have undaunted spiritual fervor. This is Dr. Anthony Revis, Faith Ministers Church, Midland, Michigan, USA. God bless you.